Why is it that girls that I know always introduce me to guys?
Okay, that's funny.
I don't like that. I'm putting that out right now. I know a lot of girls, and a lot of them do voices for me and stuff like that, or they just know me.
Yeah,
just most of the ones who do voices for me. Every single, I'm not all of them, but most of them hit me up and be like, hey, I got a friend that could work with you. And it's always a fucking guy.
Why don't you like that?
Because, first of all, I don't need that many guy voice actors. I really don't. Like,
yeah,
between me and you, we could do about 100 voices. And,
yeah, we do
you know, like for real. And then, you know, got a couple of other guys that I've been working with or whatever. I mostly need girl voices. So, I mean, of course, I got some, you know, other guys that came in to help, and that's great. But these girls, they'll come in and be like, oh, I got a friend. And I'm like, all right, cool. And I'm like, hey, how you doing, brother? I would like to help out and do a voice. Like, who this nigga? Who this? and for me, I'm like this, okay. Because, like, I'm not always trying to holler. But a lot of the girls that do voices for me are gorgeous, are beautiful. Now,
okay.
I'm not dating any of them or nothing like that, you know. Now, if I was interested in any of them, or if they were interested in me, well, they don't usually be interested in me. If I was interested in one, and let's say I was interested in a girl, but she wasn't interested in me. So usually, if you are, what a lot of guys do, if you're almost in a friend zone type thing with a girl, she usually has friends. It's like, so she'll have female friends. And a lot of girls, especially if they're good looking girls, they're going to have some good looking friends. And so I'm like, so sometimes I meet a girl, I'm like, oh, okay, well, if I don't have a chance with her, maybe I can meet her friend.
Maybe, oh goodness.
But the reason
they're introducing you to their guy friends because they want to make sure that just in case, you know, you won't have eyes for the other girl, you know, so that way it's like,
that's what I'm hoping. But it don't feel like that half the time, because I've had for example, I'm not going to name this name at all. There's this girl that I am crushing on hard. I think she is gorgeous. Like, oh man, I would love to go out with her, but I don't think she's
probably listening right now.
Hey, that's why I'm not giving her a name. Most likely she's not listening. That's why I'm not going to give her a name. I think she's gorgeous, but and she does a voice for me. I ain't gonna say which one, none of that stuff. There's a lot of girls, so you can guess all you want. I'm not gonna say it. I ain't gonna put her on blast. But I had such a crush on her, and I had the feeling like, I don't think she's that interested in me, which is fine. I understand that. She's so gorgeous. I'm like, well, maybe she got some friends, you know, she can introduce me to. She did introduce me. She was like, oh, hey, I got a friend that can work with you. I said, oh, cool. Oh, introduce me. Here he is, this guy. And I'm like, no, I don't want to meet some dude. I know enough dudes.
Well,
like, introduce me to one of your friends or your lady friends that look just as good as you. Then I can leave you alone. I can leave you alone and go to your friend. If that's what you want.
Yeah.
That's what
I don't know, man.
I don't know what that is. Like, it's almost all of them too. All of them are like this. Every single one of them. It gets on my nerves. Here's some guy. I met most of these guys through these gires. That's what's so messed up about it.
Most of the guys that you know, you met through girls that.
Yes, I would say that. A few of them I met on my own. I'm dead fucking serious.
Wow.
I really wish they stopped that. Like, just one girl introduced me to her friend. But you're right. Maybe they're like, oh, I don't want to introduce.
They're trying to keep their option open. You know?
Maybe that'll make me feel better if that's the case. But I don't know. I don't know. Because I don't know. So, what are we talking about this time?
Comic-Con.
Yes. Comic-Con.
San Diego Comic-Con
2022. Comic-Con was closed during the pandemic. So there was no Comic-Con 2020 or 2021. So we go right to 2022. And
I participated in the Comic-Con at home, and they had virtual live streaming of the announcements of all the shows and movies, and they had badges that you can print at home. I changed my profile picture for the badge for like the Print at Home Comic Con for 2020 and 2021. I live streamed like the different panels and stuff like that. I didn't cosplay at home, but I definitely did the at home thing. But the last time they had it in person, me and you were there.
Yes, we were.
I happened to be in San Diego for work. You decided to drive through because you're like, hey, well, I'm gonna go. I've been going there, so let's hang out outside.
Yeah.
That was my first time hanging out outside.
That was my second time at Comic-Con. I went there the year before, and that was the year before was my very first time where I discovered it was a lot of outside activities.
A lot of outside activities.
Yeah. So folks listening, because nobody ever mentioned that to me until I actually went, that there's a lot of activities outside. Like, usually when I saw Comic-Con from home, I would be like, oh, I wish I was there. I wish I was there. And like, oh, I can't even get in. And I found out going up there, it's like, no, it don't matter if you can't get in. There's plenty of stuff to do on the outside. They know most people can't get in. So they have all kinds of activities, people walking around in costumes, all that stuff. So when I went in 2019, that was the one and only time I cosplayed myself. I never cosplay at all. No, I cosplay.
Right, Frozo.
Yep, I was Frozone. I dressed up as Frozone in a different type way because I didn't want my stuff out. I put some pants on. It looked real. I took a picture. Yeah, I took a picture and put it on Instagram. And a friend of mine was like, "You might want to put some pants over that." Like, so it won't have everybody. Yeah, because he was like, the ladies might like you a little bit more, but you should probably put some pants on.
Yeah, and you did.
And I did, and then I made it a little different. And all folks did was say, hey, where's my super suit? Where's my super suit?
Yeah.
That's all I heard. So we went back for 2022.
Yeah, we went a couple days. Yeah, so that was then. And then I happened to be in San Diego again for the same work job, and it happened to be the same week. So I was like, well, while I'm in town, let me go see it. So
I thought you had more to say. You said so.
No, that's all. That's it. So we went. So I was there.
Now, do you want to talk about what happened to you while you were in San Diego?
Well, yeah. So I was traveling for work. I was planning to be gone for 10 whole days. I had a regional staff conference in Atlanta the weekend before, and then I was going to be in San Diego for another 4 or 5 days for another staff kind of workshop conference thing, and then I was going to stay the weekend for the Comic-Con. And so on the way I flew from Atlanta to San Diego on that Monday morning, and the job required me to test every day because they was like, if COVID's out there, we're gonna make sure that everybody's wearing masks and we're testing every day so we're not spreading anything. And so I tested positive Tuesday morning with COVID for the first time ever. And I was annoyed more than anything else.
Of all the times
I had a little headache. Yep, I had a little head cold. And I just stayed in my room for those days. And they say after 5 days, if you're vaccinated, I was vaccinated and boosted, and your symptoms start to recede, then you can go around people with your mask. So I did that.
Yeah. So lucky for you.
It was the fifth day.
Yeah, you was able to go out almost in the nick of time. So that was...
Yeah, because I tested earlier that week, and then it was like Saturday when I was able to actually go. And that's when I bumped into you guys. It was after 5 days.
I had my mask around you and stuff, and I didn't catch COVID. So that's good. It worked.
Yeah, I stayed to myself most of that first couple of days, and so just kind of quarantined myself, but I was super annoyed, and so I was like, man, stupid COVID.
Yeah, fuck COVID. So there was a lot of things that happened out there. So we should probably share for those who have never been to Comic-Con. Oh, I put down what we got this time. So did you get some stuff while you were out there?
Oh, yeah. Hold on a second. Yeah, I did, actually.
All right.
Give me a second. Okay. So, one of the things that I like to do is I like to get, I love to support more indie comic book artists. And so, of course, Comic-Con, if you've never been to Comic-Con, it is any kind of Comic-Con. I go to a lot of them. I volunteer at all the ones in Jackson. I've done New Orleans for, plus 5 years I've been volunteering for Comic-Cons. So San Diego Comic-Con is the biggest in the world. And so, but there's expo of all the different, booths of like action figures, comic books, original artists have original drawings that you can sell. And so I love to support specifically Black comic book artists or comic books that aren't mainstream like Marvel or DC. Which, fun fact, my favorite comic book of all time is not created by a Black person, but it is about a Black person that's not Marvel DC. Spawn, that's my favorite comic book. So it's and this more like Image started off very indie. It was not the name mainstream, so it's kind of like that's kind of what I like. So it was this person in the cosplay that was at the con, dressed in like this ancient kind of like, it's a Black woman dressed in a costume I've never seen before, and she was like, "Hey, I got this. You guys interested in comic books?" I'm like, "Well, Comic-Con, So like, come check out our table." And so I was like, "Okay, So I followed the table. And the guy's like, he's going to tell you all about this, or she's like, have you heard of is it Niobe? And I was like, no, I haven't heard of Niobe, And so she's like, oh, you gotta hear about her. This is the story. And so, he tells her, I haven't read it yet, but I bought, and I already decided that I was going to buy it as soon as I saw that it was Black people, selling it to me, and that it was Black people that was about the comic. So I was like, I'm going to buy this comic anyway. So he started telling me all about the comic and about the origin. I'm like, I already decided that I was going to buy it. So I was like, don't tell me too much. But this is like, it's called The Untamed.
It's the first.
That's the first story arc of this character. But this is like, I bought a trade about this story, and it's like, there's something that happens in the undead, and they have to go and kill a certain amount of people to restore something. So that's kind of the story arc. But what got me was these covers. I was like, I got to get these covers because they're dope. So you will like this cover.
Oh yeah. Nice.
So I was like, give me that cover from this. So the name of the book is She Tribe Called Niobe.
For those listening,
Tribe Called Quest.
it's the Tribe Called Quest cover of the Midnight Marauders cover. They kind of did that.
Yep. So and they call it Downlight Dreamers instead of Midnight. So they were very intentional cover. It's got different people's faces on there. And then so I bought two, and the other one is this one. You might recognize that. Notorious B.I.G.
Now I see it. Okay, because your camera stopped for a second. The Glorious.
It was delayed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Ready for Death. Wow.
So kind of based off of Notorious B.I.G. cover.
Yeah.
So I saw those. I was like, this is dope. I'm buying that. So that's what I bought. I haven't read them yet, but those are like, and they're two different story arcs from Niobe's the main character, Black woman heroine that I'm interested in reading about.
Nice.
So.
Very nice.
Yep.
That's all you end up getting?
Yeah, that's it. I was going to get something else. I was trying to look for some toy, but things started closing. I was there on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I was walking around. I walked about 25,000 steps that day.
Oh, wow.
So about 13 miles I walked.
Well.
So I was like, and I was there until it absolutely closed. So it was like, you have 30. Thank you for visiting Comic. Like I heard that now. I actually got that on recording.
Okay.
Lay it down because it's like, thank you for visiting Comic-Con 2022. Come back next time, and that was like lights start coming out.
Oh wow! How was the outside? Did people start clearing out already?
I mean, people were leaving.
Around what time this was?
This was at 5 o'clock on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Like that was the time it ended. So.
Okay. Well, what I got.
So what you got?
What I got, while you were doing that, getting those black comics, I was at the Spider-Man Museum. They had a Spider-Man Museum at the Comic-Con Museum. And it was a Spider-Man exhibit because this is Spider-Man's 60th anniversary since his debut. Like August is his official debut. He came out in 1962. So, and nice. I got a shirt. I had to get a shirt. If you see it.
Yeah, okay. Classic.
Yeah, it was expensive. And it got a little Comic-Con thing. It was like $35.
Oh,
you see
that's
that?
Not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, it's nice. I like it. I had to get something, Couldn't get an action figure because I had them already.
All the action figures they had, you had them all?
No, actually, they had like smaller ones for like kids and stuff. I didn't, I did say a cool Miles one that I thought about getting, but I didn't get that. Also, ended up getting a Marvel Encyclopedia. My daughter wanted that because I had one. I had a Marvel Encyclopedia years ago, but this one's more of an updated one, and I think that was like $40. That wasn't bad because I was expecting it to be like pretty expensive. And she said she wanted it, so I got it. So that was her souvenir, while mine was the shirt.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I ended up getting this time. So on the notes I have next is the costumes. Let's talk about these costumes that we saw.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Can we talk about the first costume that I noticed?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Go ahead. That's fine. You can share screen for this one. Of course, we'll describe it for the people listening, but people who watching it can see.
Let me see your thing. So you were there all day on Saturday, right?
Yep.
And I didn't get there till later on Saturday, trying to load your page up. And so, I was trying to find you, like, by the time I got there. And so I was calling up and everything and texting and stuff. And so, let me see if I can. Do you have that picture? I'm going to share my screen. So the first costume that I noticed was from Andy, Josh's daughter, my niece. And so I walked up, and you can see that she's dressed up as the Falcon. I don't know why your page keeps doing that, loading up like that. But yes, she was dressed up as the Falcon. I thought that was really cool. Tell me about that process, because I know you said she was working on that for a while.
Yeah.
And I first noticed it. I saw you guys from a distance.
I just found my brother and his daughter in the middle of, thousands of people. See if they notice me.
It was really crowded. I really paid much. I was looking for you guys specifically, so it was really crowded. And I just kind of showed up, took a snapshot of me standing behind you, and then called your name and took another shot.
Yeah, that was a good picture.
That in post.
So she wanted to come with me this year. She didn't come before, but she'd been to the other cons, and for this one, she wanted to dress up. So those listening don't know, my daughter is a cosplayer in the making. She says she's not one, but she totally is one because she's been making costumes for herself since she was 8 years old. That sounds like a cosplayer to me.
Absolutely.
Since
I love how it started.
And
yeah, this is all her costumes.
Yeah, that's how she started. Yeah. over the
She
years.
was
All the
making it
cons,
herself.
yes, she does it herself every time. And so now that she's a teenager, because that's when she was a kid. So she was a kid and doing this stuff. And now she's a teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah, now she's a teenager. She put some trouble into this one. Like, she got materials from different places. We went to a thrift store. We ordered stuff on Amazon. She just like she's worked on it day and night for like a month, basically. And
Wow.
didn't finish it in time because there's no wings to it. She started on the wings, but ran out of time. We needed like a couple of months on this costume, but she was, trying to graduate high school. Not graduate. She's not graduating yet. She was trying to finish high school, like finish classes for school.
Her school, yeah.
And then got started, and it was, a lot of stuff happened and stuff. So worked on it as much as she could, and it looked great. Turned out great. People were complimenting her and stuff. Like, oh, that's a great costume. A few people recognized, oh, that's Falcon. Falcon's not that popular, though.
Right.
So not too many people, but they did kind of look there like, oh, because what I liked is the costumes that stood out that people didn't dress up as much. Because there was a lot of, you always see Harley Quinn and Deadpool and Spider-Man. They're like the top costumes that
it's classic.
Everybody wears all the time.
Right.
So, but staying on that subject with costumes, you don't watch this show, but there was a ton of Demon Slayer costumes this year. Demon Slayer became famous since the last Comic-Con. Like, it may have been out, but it became mainstream since then. So now, since it's mainstream, a lot of people. Like, I think Demon Slayer outdid Harley Quinn. Because, like,
oh, wow.
Yeah, there's a character named Nezuko on Demon Slayer. She's like a demon. She's a demon girl, but she's like a good guy character. And so many girls were dressed up like her. So many girls. I should have kept count. Even little kids was dressed up like her. Like, that was like the little girl costume.
Wow.
Like, it was almost as many as them as there were Spider-Man costumes. That's how many it were. It was like so many. So that was like the biggest one between that, other than Spider-Man. Because of course, No Way Home has been out since then. So you've seen different type of Spider-Man costumes. Or you see the black and gold Spider-Man. I saw somebody that had the cell phone connected to their chest from No Way Home.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That is cool. I'm trying to think costumes that got my attention. There wasn't a lot of, actually, by Sunday, there wasn't a lot of costumes, especially inside, that I noticed. Because I was like, I'm going to take some pictures of some people in cosplay, but there wasn't that many that I noticed on it. There was this one guy that I noticed that was playing the violin on the street dressed as Link.
Oh, nice.
I thought that was funny. And so he was playing the violin. I recorded him playing the violin as Link. It was kind of a cool little, gimmick thing that he had. But yeah, I didn't really notice any other. Well, there was the people that were dressed up like, you took a picture of that too.
Yeah, if you could pull that up on my
everything
page.
all at once.
You took a picture of it though, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like this.
Show people. You can see. You can kind of see it.
I'll post it. I'll crop it up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because they had the. I don't want to spoil the movie for those who haven't seen it yet, because Marcus might be listening.
Oh goodness! By this point,
he might.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. But I mean, it's still random. It's not spoiling it.
Okay, well, they had somebody dressed up as
everything's random.
Yeah, it's random. Somebody had certain type of fingers that's in the movie, and a creature on their head that's in the movie. You have to watch the movie to understand that stuff.
Oh my goodness, it's hilarious.
I saw somebody walking by with a Vecna statue or something, a Vecna creature.
Yeah, I saw
and they
that.
was like, but they when I recorded it on the video, I thought it was moving by itself. But when I looked back at it, I saw the guy holding the the remote control. And so I was like,
oh, okay.
I thought it was just moving by itself. Like, oh snap, he's alive.
Yeah.
A lot of Stranger Things costumes.
Yeah, there's a few of those.
What would you say was your favorite from what you remember, if you saw?
And it wasn't that many. I mean, honestly, just because I'm biased, man, I love Andy's.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna say that was my favorite too. I would say.
I mean, it's not a lot of black people. Thing is, this not a lot of black people, not a lot of black people cosplaying, and there wasn't a lot of black superheroes. So it's like the ones I saw, I loved. So it's like, okay, you got Falcon, you got a young teenage black girl dressed up as Falcon. That's dope. And the side by side with the the details of the color play and everything. I loved it. So I mean. The glasses. She looked cool. I told her she looked like she can beat somebody
right. Up. She did.
And
she's only going to get better. So
yeah,
I say 10 years.
So I was
from now,
impressed. And
she said she's not a cosplayer, but 10 years from now, yeah, she's going to be like, you're going to be like really impressed.
Oh yeah, hands down.
Oh yeah. So there were some pop-ups that was around on the outside. Just to name a few, I didn't go to I actually missed out on a lot of the pop-ups this year, unfortunately. But I saw that they had Abbott Elementary. I wish I went to it. I didn't. I saw the Peanuts thing. They looked like they were talking about Franklin, the black character of Peanuts. I wish I saw that, but I didn't get a chance to see that though. But I saw it on the outside. They had some kind of training thing for the Gray Man, and they always had something for Walking Dead where you kind of go through where zombies kind of try to get you or whatever. I always miss out on those because those are like usually the longest lines.
Yeah, and these are all free,
right, on the outside,
and don't require a ticket from Comic-Con. So it's like you can just go. Any person in San Diego that's walking around downtown that wants to go can go.
Yeah.
So
now they did have a pop-up that's there every year. And I go to it. I've been to it twice now. It's for Dragon Ball Z. They have a whole Dragon Ball Z section, which is
nice,
really cool, really awesome. Especially if you love Dragon Ball Z. They have the statues like of the Ginyu Force. You can take a picture with them. They also have the statues of Goku and Vegeta. You can take a picture with them. And then it's like if they had one this year that was new, where you can get on the flying Nimbus. Like you're on the flying Nimbus, and there's like a clouds behind you, and Goku's flying behind you. You could take a picture with that. They have a picture where it's like you're shooting beams at each other. It was all really cool stuff. I said, man, if I actually liked taking pictures, I would have been in some of these pictures.
Oh
you
if
see
you wanted to be in the shot.
Yeah, I didn't want to be in the shot, and plus, Andy didn't want to be in them either. Two different guys dressed up as Gohan. Yeah, it's the Abbott Elementary subway train.
Now the cool thing about you mentioned pop-ups, but the cool thing about San Diego Comic-Con is that they basically paint the entire downtown area into a comic book thing.
Yeah.
And so like everything is referenced from pop culture, latest TV shows, movies coming out, so like you just kind of see it's an total immersion of things. Now, the thing that I did, because I wanted to do the Lumen, which was from the show Severance, which I watched. You haven't watched. I really recommend it. Severance was a really amazing TV show that came on Apple TV, and I binged it. And so they had a whole training experience that it was already booked. By the time I got over there, they were like, we're full for the day.
Of course.
So I'm like, man, it was still a couple more hours left. And so like they were already booked for the day. But I did go, and there was also another one that I really wanted to go to. As soon as I saw it drop, I was like, I got to get a ticket. It was 10 Forward. They had they recreated. Now, if you don't know anything about 10 Forward, it is the bar specifically in the Next Generation on the Enterprise ship. Where Guinan, which is played by Whoopi Goldberg, is kind of the bartender. So that's that bar restaurant where everybody eats and hang out in the Next Generation Star Trek. So they created a restaurant and made it into 10 Forward. Those tickets, you had to buy the tickets pre-advance, which is basically like your meal. It wasn't connected directly to Comic-Con, but you had to pre-buy the tickets. They sold out instantly.
Of course.
But they had a Star Trek kind of outside. Kind of hangout spot that you can go and take some pictures, get a drink or whatever. And so I was able to go there and hang out in their little space spot next to 10 Forward. So it was kind of a little geek out moment that I enjoyed. And so, so that was one of the pop-ups that I actually participated in. So
cool. So the biggest pop-up, which wasn't really a pop-up, was the Spider-Man exhibit at the Comic-Con Museum. You can definitely pull that up.
Oh, yeah.
Now, that's the one I was looking forward to. I was like, this is the one I got to go to, because I was like, if I'm going to miss the pop-ups, I got to do the Spider-Man thing at the Comic-Con Museum. Now
that's there. It's there for now. Like, is it just a certain amount of time, or is it there for now?
Yeah, it's there for a certain amount of time. Like, it came up like in June. I want to say either May or June, and it ends in August or September, maybe beginning of September into August.
Okay.
So it's only there for a temporary time. But of course, it was going to have the most people there during Comic-Con, because it's a Comic-Con museum. Because that's why I waited to go there for Comic-Con, because I only live 2 hours away. And yeah, that's me with Spider-Man. Yeah, that's right when you walk in. As soon as you walk in, they got Spider-Man coming out, and they got a lot of things from the movies in glass cases and stuff. And it's like, and you just walk through the museum, like, yeah, that's the lizard head right there in that glass, and right next to him was like Green Goblin's mask and stuff, and like they had like the New Goblin's glider was right next to it as well. So that's the actual mask that he wore. Yeah, that was like at the gift shop and stuff. The costume of that Andrew Garfield wore in the first Amazing Spider-Man.
Wow.
Yeah, it was great. And you walk through it, and of course, it's a lot of reading. You know, like it's
a museum.
Yeah. So it was just a lot of people just stopping and reading. I was about to read everything too, man. I think I pretty much was. It was like quiet. Everybody's all quiet, just reading, like, oh. And what was cool about that little image there was it showed all the different pictures of Spider-Man swinging by with someone holding him, like, you know, like, 'cause that's the first one. And then it was, I should have recorded it rather than take a picture, because it was like a slideshow. Yeah, it was a slideshow of different versions of that poster, and that's the newspaper clippings from the Sam Raimi movies, and Peter Parker's badge and stuff, his press badge and stuff. It was really cool. It went through it. Yeah, that looked scary in person. That Doc Ock claw, that looked kind of scary in person. I said, man, no wonder. Like, Sam Raimi, boy, he knew what he was doing with that. And it just talked about all these different things about Spider-Man, like his very beginnings and stuff like that. And apparently, one thing I didn't know was that Uncle Ben and Aunt May showed up in a comic before Spider-Man. Really? Yeah, they were like background characters in this other comic. That's where they came, and so they just used those same characters and made it Peter's aunt and uncle.
Made his aunt.
Yeah, they were literally Uncle Ben and Aunt May. They literally were. It was interesting. Yeah, they had the little thing on the floor. Right, that's like right when you walk in too.
That's cool.
Yeah, that should be Venom. Yeah.
Very interactive. It looks really cool.
Yeah, it was. And of course you had guys. All right, so yeah, they talked about the video games, they talked about the movies, they talked about the cartoons. They had like different sections about each one. It was mostly about the comics and stuff. What was really cool, what I liked, was it part of the exhibit. It was, you know, you had a couple of guys dressed up like Spider-Man, of course. Only skinny guy. Oh, of course, Miles had his own, you know, little part. Yeah, section. Of course. I'm glad they did too. I was cheered up when I read that part. But what was also that almost made me not tear up, but like I thought was really cool that wasn't part of the exhibit was people dressed up like Spider-Man. And like they were kind of spread out. And then, if you're going to dress up like Spider-Man, you got to be a skinny white guy, obviously. Like really skinny. And like one guy, he was just in character, and I thought he was so in character I almost took a picture with him. He was, because kids react when they see Spider-Man, because like I got reactions from wearing a Spider-Man shirt, because I had a pretty cool shirt I was wearing. It was like, oh, Spider-Man shirt. I get reactions. I appreciate it. I love it. I'm such a fan of Spider-Man. I'm like, yeah, I represent Spider-Man. But a little girl was talking to a guy just like Spider-Man, and he's like, hey, how you doing? He was all talking to her and stuff. Like, how you doing? You enjoying yourself? She's like, yes. He said, well, you have fun and stuff. I was like, I almost recorded that. I thought it was so cute. I was like she felt like in her eyes, she met Spider-Man.
It was talking to Spider-Man. Yeah, she was hanging out with Spider-Man.
Right, at the Spider-Man Museum. And then, like, you could probably click on the video. I think I have it up where these two guys see each other as Spider-Man. They almost do the Spider-Man meme.
Yeah.
And they were talking to each other. One of the guys, it might have been the same guy that was talking to the little girl. Maybe a different one. But he was like reacting to the other guy saying, wow, it's Spider-Man. I can't believe it.
This the one?
I think it is. Yeah, that's it right there.
They're just random people dressed up like Spider-Man.
It just happened to be at the museum. Coming from
That's funny. Comic-Con.
Yeah, coming from Comic-Con. Then they took a picture together and stuff.
That's funny. Oh,
yeah,
goodness.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I did see a picture of a lot. It was like 50 or 60 people dressed up, maybe even 100 people dressed up like Spider-Man in front of the Spider-Man museum.
Oh, nice.
They are all
of
pointing
course,
at each other.
you got to. That's just the thing now.
Yeah.
One thing that was also cool is while I was walking around, I heard this guy talking. And he had like a Comic-Con badge, and he was like, and I overheard him saying something like, "Yeah, when I wrote this book, blah blah blah." I was like, "Wait a minute," because I almost said something like, "Yeah, I wrote an episode of Spider." Like I wrote, I do stop motion parody. So I almost timed it.
He
actually wrote some comics.
He wrote comic books.
Exactly. And I was like, "Oh snap!" I turned around and
he helped create canon.
And he had like a group of people around him and stuff. I was like, "Oh, this guy's legit."
Yeah.
Like I didn't get a chance to catch his name or talk to him. I didn't want to bother him, but he pretty much walked around the whole time I did. Like every part I was at, he was at. Wow. It's like an hour tour basically.
How long did it take you?
Like
to go
about an
through
hour. Yeah, so the whole hour I was there, he was there. So that was, like he was there at the beginning all the way to the gift shop, and left when we were at the gift shop. So I thought that was, it was pretty cool. So that was my best experience for Comic-Con pop-up thing.
Yeah, man.
So, the announcements. There were a few announcements made.
Yes.
We could talk about a couple of them.
Now, I was going to say, I was able to go inside for the first time with the help of my friend. And
so the question is, where is Smiley at this time? Where is Jason at this time? I am in, for the first time ever, the San Diego Comic-Con. Walking around, finding things. Should have brought some comics with me. This is where I'm at. Get my badge. COVID vaccination. And I'm walking around, looking at all the fun stuff.
Those tickets sell out quick, so it's kind of like really lucky. But I was only able to go inside on Sunday, so there was really all the announcements were there. So I just missed, the classic Hall H places where they always make the announcements for the newest movie or the newest trailer or newest stuff and stuff like that. So that's something I missed, but I still followed it online. So what were some of the things that you were excited to see or hear about?
It was mostly from Marvel. All right, so people know that Phase 4 hasn't not been that great. We can all agree Phase 4 was kind of a dive after Phase 3, because Phase 3 was like,
I mean, it's like we talked a little bit about this. It's like you go from the most epic ever build up of 20 years.
Well, like 15 years.
And I think I posted this. Still, like it's like a big epic, build up. And then I think I posted this. It's like after Thanos, it's basically like playing the video game. After you beat the boss, you just play the extra
the side quests
boards,
and stuff. Yeah,
side
exactly
missions.
what it was.
So it's kind of like that. So it's like, okay, well, just there's stuff going on still, but it's really like and it's not really giant like a big giant. You just beat the boss. It's Thanos.
Right.
So yeah. So I mean, I don't know what we were expecting, but you can't get to that level anyway.
So they announced
anyway,
some stuff, and it was
keep
like
going.
we got a couple of Avenger movies coming up. I think they're going to be dealing with Kang the Conqueror, because I think it says something like that. Which that's exciting. Like, oh, we're going to actually get another Avengers movie. That's great, because that means we need to see some of the people that we saw kind of team up, like the new team. Everybody's getting their own show or movie and stuff, and the individuals like, hey, we need to bring these new people together and stuff. We need to make people like the new team, because I feel like people don't like the newer characters as much as they like the original characters.
You build up a relationship with them, so it's kind of hard. And Steve Rogers, and this is like, it's a lot going on when you build up that team, and then it's kind of like now they're not there.
Right. They're original characters and stuff, so people are getting kind of like, I don't know about these guys. You got to make them funny. I mean, we got Thor and Doctor Strange, but they're like the only ones.
Yeah, they're still around.
Of course, Spider-Man, but we don't know what's going on with him. But they announced.
Everybody forgot who Spider-Man is.
They announced they're going to have a Fantastic Four movie pretty soon. There's going to be an Ant-Man and Wasp movie with Kang the Conqueror.
That's going to be one of the parts of that.
Yeah, exactly. And I was biting my tongue on this, but I'm going to announce. Everybody already knows by now. Wakanda Forever coming out.
That's coming out in a couple of months.
Coming out 11/11/22.
Yes.
11/11/22.
Yeah, that's a good day. Malik's birthday.
So, and that people were in tears when they saw that trailer.
I mean, the trailer, it definitely, the music got you. I mean, it's honoring T'Challa. You can tell that at this point, we all know that, in the movies, T'Challa didn't die, but Chadwick Boseman in real life did. So they're like, gotta kill off T'Challa.
Yeah, a lot of people disagree.
And so there's some kind of way.
I thought, seeing that trailer, I was like, no, I think it's fine, because it honors the character and the actor at the same time, because that's his biggest role.
Yeah,
it's like, we know Chadwick Boseman for playing Black Panther,
and he made Black Panther into an icon for people that that didn't really know who he was, or didn't really pay attention too much. And so it's like, that's really, I think Black Panther is a cult classic at this point now, the original one. And so he absolutely embodied that as a character. And so his honor, the way he carried himself just as a person, definitely helped us to create the regalness and the royal warrior that Black Panther is. And so I think that's something that I think that it would be really, I would feel sorry for whoever was like, okay, you're going to play T'Challa now. Like, whatever actor that got the roles, like his agents called him, like, guess what? I know you're just an aspiring actor, but you just got the role of T'Challa in Wakanda Forever. Like,
I know, right? You think that's any actor's dream?
You would be hated on,
right? That's really
no.
hard.
That's not anybody. That is not an actor's dream. You would be like, no. If they did call somebody, I'm pretty sure that person said no.
I mean, somebody's got to take the place though, because they show.
But not T'Challa. It's as if, I mean, it's a way of doing another Black Panther. You just don't have to be.
No,
T'Challa.
This is my theory, because seeing the trailer, first of all, they showed Namor, which was cool. He's a villain of Black Panther, so that's pretty cool to see. I was like, oh snap! I was pretty excited to see that, because I'm like, oh, we get a super villain. We haven't that's one of the things about Phase 4. We haven't really got any good supervillains. You know, Wanda was good, but I think maybe you could have did a little bit more with Wanda because all we had was WandaVision and Multiverse of Madness. That was it.
Yeah, she was pretty.
Yeah, she was, but you know, she needed a few movies. Thanos had a few movies. You know, she needed a few movies.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You know what? I just thought about this. They should have brought back Ultron. Ultron's such a big villain. Why not bring him back? You know. Because they showed how big of a villain he was in the What If series, and I'm like, yes, that's how Ultron's supposed to be.
That's true.
He's one of the biggest villains of the Marvel universe.
Marvel universe, yeah.
So, anywho, they're gonna replace Black Panther with new Black Panther. I think they should not reveal that in any trailer, any preview. We should watch the movie to find out, and don't spend the whole movie replacing him. That should only be the first third of the movie, not the entire movie. I don't want the final act. We finally see the Black Panther.
You want the Black Panther to be ready by the third, by the second part.
Yes, so
second,
we
third
know
of the movie.
that this is the hero we want, or whatever. See, there are a lot of theories about what it could be. I'll tell you what my theory would be. There's some theories that it could be Shuri. Shuri could be it, which a lot of people are not too happy about that, including me, because I'm like, I think that my theory is that she's going to be in the Black Panther suit for a little bit, just so they can have that canon to the comic. Like she's going to try to take on the mantle, but find out that she can't handle it, and she's better off doing the science stuff. I think that's what's going to happen.
Okay.
Some people say Killmonger might be brought back. A lot of people saying that.
As the Black Panther,
and I'm like, I guess he's a good substitute, but
possible.
He's likable. Michael B. Jordan's probably the only actor people will accept to replace Chadwick Boseman. He's the only one they accept at this moment right now.
Yeah,
that may make sense. He's Michael B. Jordan. He's an A-list star, so of course, you know.
He's A-list, and he wasn't the last, and he was likable in the last.
You can change his character, and
even though he was
plus
a villain,
people love characters who. People love characters who were a bad. You're right. They were a bad guy, then they turn to a good guy. People love that, you know. So and that'd be perfect for him.
Oh yeah. People want Killmonger to be like they love. It was a love. There was a hardly anybody that didn't like him. They just didn't like that he was a villain.
It's the Thanos thing, though. If you think about the Thanos thing, because people love Thanos.
Yeah.
And then when you had that episode where Thanos was a good guy on What If. You love him even more. It's like, man, I roll with Thanos.
Exactly. I love a good Thanos. Yep. I can rock with good Thanos. So, I mean, I think that's a good. I like.
No,
so
my
is that
theory
your theory?
Is I think my theory is bring someone from the multiverse. You get a multiverse Black Panther. Like that way, it's T'Challa.
You think that's going? Do you think they're going to make a T'Challa from a multiverse?
What the multiverse does is. You can replace the actor with a different,
it's different people.
It still be the same person.
That's possible.
A different actor. They showed that with Spider-Man. Like, hey, it's still Peter Parker. He just looks different in a different universe. Yeah. Why not? And they, why not?
I mean, I can see that. That's your theory. You actually think?
That's what I'm hoping. That's what you want to happen. That way, because people are still saying, well, he needs to be replaced.
Okay,
we need to replace him because people are still angry about that. And I'm like, well, I think this kind of. Settles.
Yeah, I mean that's the way. Yeah, so that is a way of replacing T'Challa without just replacing the actor with an explanation of like this T'Challa from this universe is no longer. We have another multi-universe T'Challa.
Right,
it's a different actor. That is acceptable. That is possible in the universe that we are currently in with the comic Marvel universe. You want that to happen. I don't want another T'Challa, right? Like I'm not ready. So I'm just like, I don't know, man. Like even in the multiverse, the fact like the what if when they had T'Challa as different characters and they had Chadwick Boseman doing his voice, I was just like,
I know,
that's T'Challa, man. It's like
have to move on.
I don't think I want to see another T'Challa right now. Give me some years, like give me another 10 years. But right now, no, it's too soon. So I mean, I think, and like I can rock with the Killmonger turning good. That's something I do want to see. but I feel like Shuri is I would say, safest bet. It is canon to comics, and people need to, like, I feel like, people need to see, of course, they need to see her in that Black Panther suit. She's powerful. She's awesome. She's next in line in the as far as the whole, line of royalty.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Like,
yeah,
she's there. Like, she's part of that, family. So it's like that works. I think there'll be more people that will rock with it than they'll be against it. There's always going to be haters, but I think that if they put her in the suit, there'll be more people that support it than there will be people that hate it.
So, yeah.
So that's what I think is going to happen.
But as far as I think
it'll be Shuri.
As far as other announcements, they showed the trailer to She-Hulk. I'm looking forward to She-Hulk. I think we should probably review that. I think that's gonna.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch that.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. She looked fine. I was like, I guess I'd go for a green woman, man.
Oh, boy.
She looked fine in them videos. Like, shit.
Wow.
Give me that big girl, man.
Boy. Now, I'll tell you what announcement that I like that I really did like was Picard season 3. So they dropped, I don't know if you've seen the video promo of it. Did you? Okay, so basically they didn't really show anything about the show. They did tell you that it's going to be the final season because it was like Picard did, which they announced, which was interesting. I remember looking back at old pictures. The Picard was announced at the last one, 2019. They had the icons up there, like Picard's coming out with the show. Like, he went on stage a couple months before that and was like, I'm going to be coming back as Picard. Like, oh my goodness. So this is Star Trek. I'm checking it out. But like the show, season 3 had the entire cast, like the bridge from The Next Generation. And they each had a line and it showed how they look.
Wow.
Today. It's like, evolved after years. So they like a clip and they say something, and there's like a picture of them, just kind of like their portraits of them as the character. So I was like, oh my goodness. So this is like, I geeked out the entire review of that. That was definitely something I'm excited about. And another thing I'm excited about is another Star Trek thing is the Strange New Worlds new TV show, and the Lower Decks are going to have
crossover.
An overlap. So those Lower Decks is the animation that they've been doing, and Strange New Worlds is the live action, the newest live action. And so Strange New Worlds next season will have a crossover with Lower Decks, which it could either be the Lower Decks voice actors as live action, or the Strange New Worlds characters animated. I want to see both. I want to see the live action and the animation. I think with Star Trek, you can do both, because you can do anything in Star Trek. Like, it's really, there's no limit. So those were the announcements that I was really excited about when I saw them drop.
Awesome. Well, I'm sure there's plenty of more announcements that we're missing. We'd be here all day if we talked about every single thing and whatever. But yeah, that was Comic-Con 2022 from our point of views and stuff.
Well, one more thing I wanted to say about Comic-Con, because I didn't say this. I didn't see that many celebrities. Yeah. You saw a couple people. I saw Todd McFarlane, which is the creator of Spawn, signing autographs. I still don't have an autograph of Todd McFarlane. That's the one. I haven't paid for autographs. I do have an autograph from Stan Lee, but I'm like, if I get another autograph, it'll be from Todd McFarlane signing my Spawn #1. That's what I want. I have Spawn #1. I want Todd McFarlane. So Todd McFarlane,
we're watching this.
I want you to sign my Spawn. Yes, listening and watching. Please sign my Spawn issue #1. Please, I will. Well, next time I see you, we'll do that.
Who the fuck are
you? And
you?
I saw the Black Ranger.
Fuck y'all. I don't know what it sounds like. I heard he's kind of an asshole. I heard he's kind of an a-hole. So.
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, I haven't, he signed the autographs and he was there. So, and he was just in the booth, in the middle of the floor. So, but yeah, I was overwhelmed by the inside. So next time you'll be able to go and see it, but it was just like a lot. I told you miles.
Oh, okay.
Miles and miles to walk.
Yes, I want to next time. Next year, I hope to talk about more action figures. I saw a few announcements for action figures.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, I can't wait till some of these come out. I want to get some.
I only showed you a couple of the pictures that I saw because it was so
yeah, there's some detailed. There's a few. I'm looking forward to the No Way Home figures. They're going to have No Way Home figures. And then I saw they also announced they're going to have like the Tobey Maguire figure. Like you're going to see him as you can switch him from Spider-Man to Tobey Maguire.
Oh wow!
So that's a must-have for me. I don't know if I'm gonna record with it, but I definitely want it. So anyway, that is Comic-Con 2022. So tell people where they can follow you.
You can catch me smileyjason.com, my website, or you can follow me on Instagram, smileyjason_.
And you can follow me as Prop Josh on TikTok and YouTube. This is on YouTube as well. Called What We Talking About This Time, and then look up Prop Josh. Look up Prop Josh.
What we talking about Smiley. This time?
If you type for me, if you type Prop Josh in Google, I'll pop up. It's me. So with that, nice. What thought can I leave y'all with? Geek out, have fun with your stuff, have fun. Hopefully, you see something you like. There's nothing wrong with being a fan of stuff. That's what I definitely want to say. Sometimes people get kind of afraid to be a fan of stuff, or like, I'd be hearing people be making fun of people like, oh, that person likes this stuff. And, I listen to a lot of different radio shows. I listened to a radio show where this girl, she left this guy because he dresses like a Power Ranger for cons. And she was like, I can't believe a grown man would do that. You know what? Fuck that girl. Be a fan all you want.
Dude, honestly, one of the reasons why I still love to volunteer at Comic-Cons, my favorite thing is to see how people react to like the celebrities or the people that they just meet, like the joy that they get from like meeting a childhood star or finding something they really love.
Yeah, I love when people geek out.
Man. I love that.
That's part of the reason why I like doing fan videos. Like I'll do stop motion videos. People treat my Spider-Man videos like it's actually Spider-Man sometimes. And I love that. That makes me feel good. Like I'm just a fan like y'all are, and y'all be, messaging me like, "Hey, make more Spider-Man." Like, or if somebody see me in a Spider-Man outfit, "Hey, it's Spider-Man." I love that too. Like, hey, it's all fan thing. It's fun. You don't. Nobody's falling down worshiping this fictional character of Spider-Man. It's not that deep or bad. It's just like, hey, I like this guy because he reminds me of me. It's like if I was in the, that kind of thing, or that's my hero, I admire those people. Like, that's what it's about. So, yes, have fun. Do this. Geek out. Don't be afraid to be a geek. All right.
So, it's been a full day. It's only 11:30 a.m. on the Sunday. So I was able to get in, got my verification COVID vaccine, and then got a badge from a friend. I ain't put but no, just we were able to get in. But yeah, so today I just walked around. I had a lot of compliments on my shirt. It's just a t-shirt that's got some Black Legends as superheroes. So you can kind of see exclusively one of the most vivid images you can as Batman. But yeah, so I just kind of walked around. Got a really couple of cool comics from an original comic book place. I like to get like original comics from people that don't really like. They just have their spot. So I bought this. You recognize the cover, style, and this is another cover style. I was like, I got to get this. This is dope. And then I got the story arc for. It was like a cover trade. It's a good story online from the same people. And I found this booth that's Abrams Comic Arts. So I got a free little preview of what they're gonna have out, and I'm like, what? Never heard of this comic book company before? It was right next to a booth called Good Smile Company. And I'm just like, how you gonna have Smile and Abrams right next to each other? So yeah, it's crowded. I'm gonna take a little break. I'll probably come back in a couple hours before they close. I think they wrap up around 4, so or 5, something like that. Yeah, this is Comic-Con. So it's getting dark.